Welcome to the Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. This is a place for you if you aspire extraordinary, fueled with inspiration, meaningful conversations, and valuable insights that are going to support your journey of becoming an extraordinary leader and making truly a difference in your organization and living a desired life. My name is Dagmara, and I am your host in this show, and I'm also founder and CEO of Extraordinary Leadership. I'm bringing you exceptional leaders, change makers from different industries, sharing their stories, and above all, what made them most successful, impactful, and happy. I'm also sharing my discoveries from navigating and leading 15 years in a corporate world, building my business, and empowering senior and executive leaders to go to their next level with their organizations and in their lives. I hope that you are excited and ready. So let us begin. Hi, and welcome to this very first episode in Extraordinary Leadership Podcast show. I'm very excited to finally kick it off. It has been in cooking for some months. It has been a meaningful preparation for you. And I'm really so excited to finally start it. In this very first episode, I want to introduce myself to you. I want to actually share my leadership story and what led me to start Extraordinary Leadership, how this all came into fruition, and why we're actually having this podcast. And I'm going also to share with you the 10 lessons I've learned in my journey so that it can serve your growth. First of all, I want you to know that before I started Extraordinary Leadership, which was in 2021, I spent 15 years in a corporate world and in automotive industry and procurement function. And I really, really cherished all the growth and all the development that I went through thanks to these 15 years. I had many different roles spanning from leading important projects, developing my own team, and leading and initiating actually and leading organizational changes on the regional and global scale. And I had a pleasure to lead and navigate in 3 different types of corporations, 3 different cultures, Swedish, French, Japanese, that do operate in a completely different way. And so I had also different leaders myself and seen also what was really impactful and affecting and what was not. And definitely I had many successes in the time, but I also have challenges and failures that I faced. And I also experienced very challenging times, including being bullied, including losing a job despite having another role in the organization, including facing challenges to actually lead and be the desired leader who I wanted to be. I've learned that those challenges have been the biggest gifts for me in leadership growth. And actually, one of the very pivotal and big point in my life happens in the middle of my career. That was more than 10 years ago, where I found myself having a gap between where I really wanted to be as a leader, inspiring, empowering, navigating positively, and realizing the vision collectively with the team. And my reality at that time was different. I was definitely not there. And that brought obviously massive doubts about myself as a leader. I started to question if I ever can be and realize that vision and be that leader. I had been very stressed, so it impacted also my well-being. And I guess at some moment I realized, facing conflicts, facing challenges, facing resistance from some of the people that I was leading, that it is a time to lean in and discover what I haven't discovered until then. Because I knew that whatever brought me to that stage and worked for me successfully has not worked anymore for me. And I needed to find a different way. I needed to find something I haven't found before. And this is the moment when I lead in to the very first coaching program. My very first intention was to become a better listener and coach as a leader, because I wanted so much to empower people. And I was always having a passion to empower others and help them succeed. And so I chose for that program because I wanted to equip myself with those crucial for leaders skills. And very soon after stepping into that program, I realized that it's more than that. I realized that it is actually my pivotal point and it's a very transformative journey for myself. And in this journey, I discovered myself. I discovered my inner world. I discovered the power of mind, how much of our decisions, choices, actions, and the way we lead comes out of a programming, subconscious programming that is leading us and that develops actually in a childhood. So I have had a lot of awakening moments, aha moments, eye-opening moments in this journey. And thanks to this journey and many others that I chose to take in that realm, it helped me, first of all, to become a leader who I wanted to be. I could build trust and a relationship better with my team. I could empower better people to be more successful. I could bring more unity and collaboration in a team as well. But that was not all. I also discovered myself. I discovered my passion and purpose and who I really want to be. Looking at the challenges that leaders are facing because of not having access to the journey and access to themselves led me to actually starting my own business with an intention to give access to what I experienced and what helped me. And this is where end of 2021, I decided to take that very brave decision to jump off a corporate world and start my own business. And on top of that, it was a time that we as family wanted a change. And that time we were living in Germany, in Munich. And we were called into a change at the time. And so in the same time of living a corporate world, we actually moved to Dubai in UAE and started a completely new life. So definitely year 2021 has been for me a year of courageous, bold decisions, which felt definitely in alignment. And I knew even without having securities and stepping into a lot of unknown myself, I just knew that that's the right choice and the right decision. And looking back now, I cannot regret any minute of it, even if obviously there are challenges on my way as an entrepreneur building my business. And, all that I needed to learn about actually building a business, creating a clients, marketing, sales, all of that of course led to further growth of myself. In the last 3 years, honestly speaking, I invested further in my growth, knowing that my business totally depends on my growth and to which potential of myself I can tap into. So I took several investments from a conscious choices, several investments, different coaching programs and coaches and mentors. And thanks to them, I am where I am today here. Thanks to them, this podcast actually is going into fruition. I tapped to the next level of my potential, serves powerfully my clients, help them to create breakthroughs, help them to create results which they didn't think of they can create. And which some of them or many of them say transform their leadership and their life. So today I'm privileged, first of all, to live a life of choice and definitely serve and lead and guide senior and executive leaders who are growth driven, who are progressive, who want and aspire to be extraordinary, to make a bigger impact, to turn around their organizations to the next level, and who want to lead and live in alignment with their vision and take the courageous choices from there. Looking back in the last 10 years, I have shifted to live a very intentional life and learn how to follow my intuition. Definitely the last years of my life have been very transformative, led me to choices that are very courageous, led me to become the version of me that I dream about and live the life I truly desire. And I'm really grateful for all the steps and all the choices that I've made. I'm grateful for all the challenges that I also experienced along the way, because not every time it has been easy, obviously, for me. But I think there are a couple of lessons that I learned I want to share with you from that journey to inspire you from where you are now to your next level, empower you to step into your potential because it's literally limitless. And increase your impact and go for the vision that you really aspire as a leader and lead a team, lead an organization in alignment with that vision, alignment with the potential. So here I want to share with you the 10 lessons from this last 10 years. Number 1 is take ownership for your growth. You see, nobody will take ownership for your growth. It's absolutely in your hands. And I want you to know that you have unlimited potential and you are much more powerful than you think you are. And so it all awaits you. It all awaits you to discover. And the moment you actually take ownership for your growth, you're going to step in it and discover so much about yourself that you don't know today. And it's going to make you a much more powerful, impactful, and successful leader than you are today. You're going to understand yourself better and understand others that you lead better. So I want to invite you to take that responsibility, take that ownership for your growth if you haven't yet. Invest in a coach, invest in a mentor, invest in a program that calls you in, and especially invest in a journey that helps you to transform from within, to discover your inner world. Invest in journeys that are going to help you to understand yourself better, your mind, your emotions, and discover your potential. They are really valuable because they will let you to become the leader who you really, truly desire. So that's number one, take ownership for your growth. Number two, everything is a gift in life. Every challenge that you encounter, every difficult situation in your life is actually an invitation for you to discover a gift and create an opportunity proactively. One of the biggest challenges that I encounter, a very dark moment I encounter, is when I came back after my maternity break and I discovered that my role is gone. I have been demoted. I was bullied for about a year and finally also fired, despite I have created another role in the organization. So definitely that has been a very painful time, and my self-worth was at the bottom at that time. I can tell you that. And if you are there in that place, I feel for you because it's an extremely difficult time. But looking back, and very soon after, I could see that it's such a gift for me. It was such a gift for me because especially the moment I was asked to let go of the organization where I served for a very long time, it has been a moment I was giving a gift to start to create a new path for myself. Very soon after finding another job, and then after I lean into start external leadership. And I wonder if that all could have been possible if I hadn't been let go of that organization. So I know it has been a gift from the universe for me because I was not courageous enough to leave that organization that time and realize that I outgrown that space and that was not anymore belonging to me. So I've learned a powerful lesson. Number two lesson, a big lesson for me is seek for gifts and opportunities from every challenge. And that's how I actually embrace every challenging situation that I encounter today. And it tremendously changed the lens I look at difficulties that shows up in my life. They are just gifts, and I choose to create opportunities out of them. So that was number two. Number three, follow your heart, your passion and intuition. I wish I knew that before, actually. You know, for a very long time, I was very much attached to logical thinking, and I was very trained. And from the moment I started to follow my heart, follow my passion, where obviously coaching programs that I encounter had played a tremendous role. From the moment I started to take those intuitive decisions live, and an impact started to shift. One of the big intuitive decision following my passion was 2021 when I decided to leave a corporate world and step into a completely unknown for me world of entrepreneurship. And I didn't have everything set up. And at the same time, we're moving to another country. So you could say it was maybe an unlogical decision, but it has been a very intuitive one, and definitely from a place of alignment. And I never regretted it since then, right? So following your passion, following your heart, following your intuitive voice that we all have within ourselves, it's always leading us to stepping into our big potential and allowing us to grow. So my invitation to you is to follow more your heart. And as a leader, leading people, it's so important actually to embrace that, because as Jeff Bezos, for example, from ex-CEO of Amazon said, he took most of his complex leadership decisions from that space. And Steve Jobs also nicely reminds us of that, saying that follow your heart and intuition, because somehow they already know who you want to become. So taking those intuitive decisions, following your heart, is going to lead you to become that extraordinary version of yourself, that leader that you really aspire. Number 4, create your vision. Create your vision of who you really truly want to become. What kind of leader you want to be, how you want to lead, how you want to show up, what kind of life you want to have. I've been a dreamer from a very early age. I believe the earliest I can remember, age of 9, helping that time to basically escape from reality and have nice dreams. But I actually realized most of them in early 30s. And I've learned that that's work when you start to dream big and allow yourself to envision something bigger than who you are today and what you have today. And creating that big vision for yourself, it's a place of inspiration. Vision is such an important part in the journey of extraordinary leaders, because it not only gives you a clarity of who you want to become and what impact you want to make, what you want your life to be, but it's a very transformative tool, which I learned in the last 2 years. Once you have that vision that brings you clarity of where you want to go and become that version of yourself and take actions in alignment with the vision, I can tell you the life and leadership impact is going to transform. So it's a very important part in your leadership journey of becoming an extraordinary leader yourself. Number 5, a very important one. Discover how to manage your mind and emotions. One of the most powerful discoveries I had about my mind was initially to discover limiting beliefs and understand that basically how much they are rooted in our subconscious mind and obviously driving our decisions. One of the famous one that I had been attached for a long time was I'm not good enough, which is a very common limiting belief of many leaders. And, the moment I understood how mind works and that all our actions and the way we show up, the way we lead, the way we trigger, that comes from subconscious mind, which 95% is responsible for our autopilot reactions. The moment I understood that there are a lot of limiting beliefs and programming that doesn't serve us, is the moment I started to transform it and evolve to a personal version of me that I want to become. So knowing how to manage your mind and discovering all those limitations, which are hidden for us, so it requires you to have as a coach, it's a very powerful part of your journey, because it's going to help you literally to break through whatever is holding you back to realize your vision and become the version of who you aspire. And the second part of the story is understanding how do we manage our emotions. And of course, mind and emotions are very connected. And we already know that to be an effective leader, emotional intelligence plays such an important role. And emotional intelligence is about understanding your emotions and managing your emotions, self-regulating your emotions and your triggers, as well as managing the emotions in the dynamic of a conversation with another person. So learn how to manage your mind and emotions is very crucial, because it will serve you for your decision taking, for clarity of decision taking, for making an impact, for creating a trust, for creating a psychological safety. It will help you to navigate in difficult situations with more ease and positivity. It will help you so many times, so many things. So investing in developing your capability to lead your mind and emotions is crucial for you as a leader. Number 6, very connected to that, is a discovery I had about a couple of years ago when I was already in an apprenticeship journey. And it is about managing your state of being. I understood that it's not about doing more that is going to lead us to make a better result, but it's about the state from which we are taking the action. It's about actually our state of being, our energy. And that state of being who we are in the moment, that energy that we are emanating and vibrating actually all the time, is what is inspiring people or demotivating people. That's the same place that is making people safe or unsafe with you. And also is the same source for being more creative or less creative, more productive or less productive. So it's a very powerful source. This state of being, this energy is impacted by your mind, by your emotions, and by your physical energy, by your limiting beliefs, by your values, by your past decisions. And the more you know how to navigate those different territories, those different areas, the more inspiring and impactful you can be as a leader. So it's important to understand, discover, and lead yourself so that you can operate from your optimal state of being and energy as a leader. Number 7, it's about empowering and coaching your people. One of the most important skills, if I would say that, as a leader, that I have developed thanks to my coaching programs was about how to coach others. And when I say how to coach others, I refer to asking powerful questions, listening actively, and being present. For a long time, I have not had those capabilities myself. I was very good in talking, but not great in listening. And when I developed skills of coaching, which I consider one of the most critical skills for great leaders, empowering people through coaching is helping them to grow in a most optimal way. It's helping them to rise their potential, to become more confident, rise their motivation and inspiration. Is the way to rise their ownership. Your quality of coaching does matter in your leadership impact and your ability to develop, grow, and empower people to be an effective and extraordinary leader. So do invest into developing that skill because it's really a gold. Now, number 8 is about being intentional in developing your team. Being intentional into putting efforts and investments into that. All leaders want to have great teams. All leaders want to have great organizations. What's distinguished leaders succeed with that is the fact that they internationally invest into their teams. They are investing time into sessions facilitated from external coach or facilitator that helps the team to build trust, bring more unity, foster collaboration. They invest in time in building vision in their team, leadership team or any other team. And they invest time into really understanding each other and building relationships because basically, ultimately, the success of a team is through collaboration and teamwork and leveraging on different strengths in the team. Leaders that create high-performing teams are leaders who intentionally lead that process, lead the process of evolving of a team to high-performing. It's something that I discovered thanks to work of Patrick Lencioni, who is one in the realm very known with his model of 5 dysfunctions of a team. If you haven't heard about it yet, I encourage you to read the book and develop the skills or put intentionality into that process. Just invite a coach to help you to elevate your team to the next level, because that's what's going to make a difference into making because that's what is going to make a difference in your team, in your organization, and creating the extraordinary results that you desire, as well as creating a culture that you desire and keeping and attracting, of course, high performance and very much motivated and engaged people in your organization. Number 9, focus on appreciation, bring curiosity and empathy into your leadership. Those 3 I've learned the hard way. Firstly, for a very long time, my focus was on looking at what we can all improve. How can we be better? And this focus on continuous improvement has blinded me into seeing the good stuff which were already there about my people, about the situation, and about myself. So I had an imbalance and could not see objectively, basically, what's going on, which later on I discovered was all in my subconscious that I needed to work on. By appreciating people, you make them feel valued. And of course, that fuels motivation and performance. But when you merge it with curiosity and empathy, that a cornerstone of empowering and coaching your people, that is when you bring a real care towards them. That is where you actually show that you care. And that is actually when you build stronger relationships, build trust, build psychological safety, and also truly start to understand your people and are able to resonate with them and are able to understand them on a deeper level and are able really to truly help them. So focus on appreciation, bring curiosity and empathy into your leadership. The final 10 lesson I learned is be the change that you want to see. I think it's encompassed all of the 9 that I shared before, because everything starts there, leading by example. If you want to see people take ownership for their growth or take ownership for the actions, you need to role model that behavior first. You need to invest in yourself, in your growth, so that others are willing to invest in theirs. And also, every pattern that your team has that is keeping repeating is an invitation for you to find out what is that you need to lean into and work on. And that is a great opportunity and great filter for you to find out where you can actually role model a different behavior. So the question is, are you role modeling the behaviors that you want to see in your organization, in your culture, whatever it might be? If it is about listening actively, asking powerful questions, collaborating, saying I'm sorry, taking courageous steps, being proactive, growing, and breaking through your own limitations and your own ineffectiveness. So that are the 10 lessons I've learned in my journey. And I'm very curious to hear what you're taking away from it. Which of those 10 lessons, which of those 10 points that I shared with you inspired you to try out? I know that all of them serve to become an extraordinary leader, a much more powerful version of yourself, lead from a space of alignment, make an impact that you desire, build collaborative and connected culture, and create extraordinary results. So I invite you to explore them, to use them for your own reflections of where you are today, and also choose which of those 10 would you like to lean in more of and go for it. Take the action is such an important step. Thank you for listening to today's show, and I hope you enjoy the kickstart and looking forward to the next episodes to come.